manipulation of ethno-religious sentiment.
I think this is a negative part of what we're experiencing.
We want peace and security and stability.
There'll be no shooting anymore.
We must come together as Nigerians.
We are brothers and sisters. Nigeria first before your politics.
We're all engaged in trying to keep the country united.
For a nation to develop, conflicts must be minimized.
Peace and stability is extremely important for us.
My hope and prayer is that the Nigerian of our dream will be achieved.
Beautiful Monday afternoon to you viewers. Of course, thanks for joining us on Global Television. My name is Edikan Michael. Nigeria has a long history of census taking spanning over a century. The 2023 census will be Nigeria's first digital census and will change how the census will be conducted henceforth. I'm being joined this afternoon by the Director of Green Census Initiative of the National Population Commission, Mrs. Aisha Abdulaziz. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.
Green Initiative is an initiative that Nigerians are yet to be aware of. Of course, when we talk of the National Population Commission and the census preparation for 2023, what can you say it's all about?
For the first time in the history of Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, National Population Commission has taken it on itself to do a digital and green census. Climate change is real, and for us to show and to know, we need to have data. We cannot plan or formulate policy without data. We want to know the impact of climate on the population, on gender. We want to know how to build resilience. We need information, we need data. We need to know where we have, what communities or other states or other local governments do we have disposal sites? How do we dispose our waste? What fuel, what type of energy do we use for cooking? And so much more. So for the first time, I repeat, that the National Population Commission is taking the leadership to mainstream climate consideration into the data collection.
A top-notch preparation and, of course, an novel idea that has come to NPC to help the Commission to conduct the 2023 census generally. Now, when we talk of census, a lot of speculations and ideas has been coming where since 2006 we've had the last census that was conducted. And over now we've had inflation of figures, people quoting their numbers according to how they feed themselves. What can you say about this, all of that?
People project, and in the absence of another census, which has taken 17 years to do, naturally the way to go is to project based on the population growth rate. So there's no much speculation, rather we're just closing in on what is already existing.
Now let's look at the preparation for the census. We understand that factors that may hinder the exercise, and from your Green Initiative, it's one of those factors that you're trying to bring as the solutions so that can actually help the field workers to be able to have a proper data. How digitalized are NPC prepared for this exercise?
The digitalization process is the key component of the census taking. For the first time, we're not using paper. We've gone paperless. So imagine what happened 2006. That's 17 years back.
Are we not going to have the issue of people, hitting to the sites? Because these are what I know, for instance, actually promised Nigeria during the 2023 election. What are those things that have been able to put in place, assurances from NPC?
Our trainings have been digital. We've already done the first and second pre-test. We've done the trial census. Before then, what has really made the census digital is the EAD, that is the enumeration area demarcation, which has gone successful, and it was being digitalized. We were using topo sheets in 2006. We used about 3 million maps, paper maps. Now, with a handheld device, everything is there. I don't think there are going to be a better census than the 2003 population and housing census.
Fantastic. The assurances from NPC is that, of course, the census will be digitalized and proper information will be put out to the public, and of course, we put to rest the mutilations and inflations of figures, circulating on the media or the Nigeria's population. Let's go back to the issue of climate change, which is your area, of course, that you're directing. The Green Initiative, of course, you have, the natural disasters that are beyond human control. These are things that there is nothing we can do. But I think there are other factors that are human that we can, as a people, adhere to. What is the information that you are giving out to the public?
That there is a linkage between population and the environment. What you give to the environment is what the environment will give it back to you. If you put trash when you soak away, it will naturally get blocked when it gets filled up, and it will come back to you and start shouting, there is flood, there is flood. Yeah, there are natural aspects, but there are the human circumstances which can be controlled. How do we do that? In the census instrument or questionnaire, we have questions that ask about knowledge, practices, and attitudes of the population or people in an area. That way we'll be able to know certain the knowledge of the people in Nigeria. Yeah. What do they really know about population and what they can do to contain things that happen within their limits.
So the preparation is behind just the digitalization process that we as Nigerians have a role to play in order to help MPC to carry out this exercise, and that is the idea behind the Green Initiative of the National Population Commission. Let's go back to still on the preparation. Of course, we saw that last week your DG had visited the president. Of course, that is the first time of visiting the president of becoming Nigeria's president. What assurances has the president given to the commission, and of course, as preparation towards this census?
The chairman and the DG with commissioners and some directors visited the president, and the president has assured us that the census will take place, but then maybe at their own time when they are ready, because we also need them to key in to the census. So we are hoping that the census will take place soon.
Because there was a previous date that was out there in the public, and of course it was laid up to respond, so new data has not been communicated yet?
Yes, we are still waiting for the president to announce that, and he has shown his interest and support, and he has told us what to do and what is expected of us, and we are ready for that challenge. So we're already prepared for the 2023 census.
The issue of climate change is real, and of course, beyond all of this, the National Population Commission as a body are ready to carry out the 2023 Nigeria census. Once we come back from the break, we'll talk more on what is expected of Nigerians on this very exercise. Don't go away, keep watching Global Television.
Talk about the Civil War, but we seem to ignore the fact that it was the manipulation of ethno-religious sentiment.
I think this is a negative part of what we're experiencing.
We want peace and security and stability.
There'll be no shooting anymore.
We must come together as Nigerians.
We are brothers and sisters. Nigeria first before your politics.
We're all engaged in trying to keep the country united.
For a nation to develop, conflicts must be minimized.
Peace and stability is extremely important for
My hope and prayer is that the Nigerian of our dream will be achieved.
Welcome back to Global Television. Of course, I'm still having the Director of Green Initiative of the National Population Commission with me in the studio to talk on the Nigeria's preparation for 2023 census. Let's look at the importance of this exercise, because one may see it's the waste of our resources. Why is census really important?
We need data to formulate policy, to implement, to track and monitor. Do we have it now? What we have is 206 census data.
And it's even affecting, the distribution of food palliative by the president.
We are busy projecting. We need an accurate, reliable data that can be used to now make policies and implement those policies and monitor those policies and also track. Now when we add the climate consideration, we will also be able to track at how far, where, how, when.
Now the Green Initiative as an idea, before now it has never been, you know, and of course the consideration of the fact that the NPCC is as a need, as a factor, you know, to deal with. What is the idea behind this?
Census is the only platform you get to have data generated at the micro level, that is the household level. And for Nigeria, when we're doing the census, it's like a photograph. So it means we're going to get climate questions, which have been in the questionnaire, generating data on climate.
During the exercise?
Yes, during the exercise. Okay. People will respond to questions on climate that are there. People will be able to answer, and then the analysis, after the analysis, people can now come and see what we have. For the first time, Census is embarking on an aspect that is not socio-economic related, rather it's environmental inclined. So we've mainstreamed climate considerations into the census platform, where we can analyze. After analysis, we have data on adaptation, mitigation, even building resilience. We can use the data that has been analyzed to have information and give out, instead of just projecting or just doing surveys and studies.
Now let's look at the Act. Climate Change Bill was signed into law in 2021, and one of the clauses of the Act is that it mandates the government to set a national climate change action plan and a 5-year carbon budget. Are MPC responsive to this clause on the very bill?
National Population Commission is conscious, because we were a member of the Climate Council, and we're given the nexus between population and climate. We decided to contribute, the Commission saw it fit to contribute to the NDC, that is Nigeria's determined contribution, to reduce, or at least to limit the amount of carbon in the census process and procedures. That is the idea behind the Green Initiative. Reduce emission, rethink, reuse, and reduce waste. So if we do that, you imagine where you have 1 million or over 800,000 personnel in the field for 22 days, the amount of waste they will generate, the amount of water that will be used, transportation, a lot of logistics involved. If we can minimize that to reduce the impact on the environment, I think we'll be doing a lot in the climate arena. Nigeria will be factored as recognizing the relevance of climate, and then we're also working towards it, because we're going to generate a database, they call it a framework,
an action
plan. Not even a framework for data, baseline data on climate and environment for the first time. So I think that's a fit.
This is the assurance from the National Population Commission that, of course, the census 2023 is taking a new turn, where initiatives such as the Green Initiative will be introduced into the system to help us, checkmate the issues, and of course comes with a reliable and digitalized data. What is the final words to Nigerians as they are preparing to hear from NPC on when the exercise will take place?
That our census is going to be green, that our census is digital, that please, people should respond to all questions, not only on the climate, but on the other vital statistical information that is required.
That is the final word from Mrs. Aisha, Director of Green Census Initiative of the National Population Commission. It was good to have you now joining us, and of course talked about Nigeria's preparation for 2023 census. My name is Edikan Michael. Don't go away from Global Television. Keep watching.
Talk about the Civil War, but we seem to ignore the fact that it was the manipulation of ethno-religious sentiment.
I think this is a negative part of what we're experiencing.
We want peace and security and stability.
There'll be no